I won another car at BCA. I won a Ford KA. Ford KA's turned up. Let's have a little look, see what we got. Good rubber, straight down the side. Good rubber here. It's all new rubber all round by the looks of it, unless they've done one side, not the other. Back straight, nothing to worry about there. New rubber, nice. This side straight, new rubber. Yeah, so we've got it off the transport now, and it's got brand new rubber all the way around. No major dings or dents down the side of it. There's a couple of little bits on the edge of the door here that need touching in. Nothing really on that one. Interior wise, so a quick look see. No rips or tears in the back seats. Carpet's in good nick. No rips or tears in the front seats. Now it said it had no V5, but what's weird is I've been given an envelope here and it has a ton of V5s in it. I don't really know why. We'll quick look, pull them out. I wonder if we've got some other people's. So I've got the one for this car, but I've got one for a 62 plate car. Got one for a 2010 plate car, for a 2007 plate car. I'm gonna have a dig and find out what the hell this is all about. Yeah, and then I've got a personalised number plate one. So I don't know what all these are about. I don't know if someone BCA has made a balls up and sent me everybody else's, so I'll have to get that double checked out. Then I do have all the handbooks. It said no service history, but I found this folder here with some Ford service stuff in it. I don't know how much history is actually in here. It doesn't seem like I've got a book. I think there is like an online thing for Ford servicing, isn't there, you can check out. I don't know if this is just one service with lots of paperwork or whether it's multiple services. So we've got one here from 2014. Oh, and fire. 2014. What's this one? What's the date on this one? God, £600. What's that? Oh, it's a service plan for Evans Halshaw. They're buggers. I've rung Evans Halshaw before and they don't want to give you any information at all. They say it's all under the customer's name, so data protection says you can't have the information. I'll have a proper sort through this in a bit and I'll find out what's going on with those V5s, because I don't want some other dealer having to buy V5s when they're sat here in the books. Right, let's have a quick little run around the block. So firstly, no engine management lights on. It did tell me that the buttons were broken on this. I don't know if they're broken or whether they are just dirty. Let's have a quick look. Let's turn the stereo up. Actually, we should be able to turn it up from this, shouldn't we? So that's working. That's working up and down. Let's have a quick look at the I better turn that right down, otherwise I'll do some copyright rule, won't I? If it goes quiet now, that's because that was a copyright kick in. And then it's going up and down through the station. So I think they said these buttons were broken. I think what they meant is they're worn. Now, the edge of these, if I mask here, a little bit of plaster dip on the end of those, that'll tidy that right up. So that's good. Electric windows, are they working? So passenger one's working. And there's one of my favourite channels, Randy, on auto auctions, auto rebuilds. It's one of my favourite channels. I've forgot his full name now. But yeah, Randy always says the all-important window, and that is the all-important window working. I've got aircon. Is that blowing cold? Let's have a little feel. Let's put it on me. Oh, ice cold aircon, guys. Nice. Right, so next question. Do we have throwout bearings? Do we have suspension problems? Let's have a little go. So first gear, handbrake off. It's got the familiar feel of a KA about it. Right, speed bumps. Top mounts, lower mounts. That was the scrapyard next door, making that clangy noise, and it wasn't this. So let's have a quick listen again. No, top mounts are all good, suspension's all good. Steering straight, up through the gears. Let's put the seatbelt on so we can hear what's really going on. So put the seatbelt on and we can really hear what's going on. Right, so off in first, clutch engaging about midway. Pooping along here. Yeah, over that speed bump, no noises out of suspension at all. We've got some random chap with a lawnmower in front of us. We'll wait for him to get out of the way. There we go. Right, second gear, third gear. See if we can get into fourth without it cutting out. Fourth gear, fifth gear. Right, so all the obvious stuff at the moment, touch wood, seems to be okay. Yeah, the only warning light I've got is for a front bulb. It'll be one of those lower daytime running lights. They're always like that, they're a nightmare. So it seems at the moment she's okay. We'll leave her running and see what temperature she gets up to. I do need to check the fluids. I haven't obviously driven her any real distance, but I should check the fluids on it. But so far it's looking okay. I don't want to jinx it, but so far it's looking okay. As you always say in the comments, people get rid of cars for a reason. Occasionally they just want a new car and you get a good deal, but normally they've got something that's needed. So we'll have to wait and see, do a few more miles on it. I'll probably drive it home tonight and get under the bonnet. But for the moment we'll park it up next to the other KA because we've got work to be doing. Can't jump straight on this, but I'm hoping later today I can wash this one and we can get it up for sale for the weekend. Idling nicely. So guys, just done a walk around video on this Ford KA. She's been in what for a few hours. It's towards the end of the day now, and I've given her a really good clean up, and she's come up really nicely. Paintwork's in excellent condition around this. No real dings or scrapes on the bumpers to speak of. It's obviously been very well cared for, this one. Really come up nicely. Great that I've been able to get her up for the weekend. I'll be loading her up tonight. The interior came out good. All the seats are in fantastic condition, no rips or tears or staining. All over, looking really good. These normally get quite a hard life, to be honest. The Ford KAs, first time cars, get quite a hard life, as do the 500s. And the plastics are normally all scratched up inside because they're not particularly hard wearing. You normally get all that sort of scratches on the dashboard and down here, but this one's in really good condition. So yeah, I'm pleased with this one. I've had a little drive about in there, and I like I did earlier, don't have any major concerns on that front at all. So we'll stick her in the lineup for the weekend and see what happens. this stage, guys, you can see it's just all about trial and error, fitting bits up. Don't do anything up majorly tight, because you want to move it all around, keep putting things down, checking where your panel gaps are. This is aftermarket panel. They will drive you nuts, guys, if you go for absolute perfection, the kind of level of perfection that nobody's ever going to see on the car. I'm not talking about big panel gaps, I'm talking about, you know, mils here and there. Then it will drive you absolutely nuts. After an original panel will fit better. So if you can find it in the right colour, that's the easiest way of doing it. Same thing with the aftermarket headlights. Tiny variations mean that you can create little gaps. But as you can see, what I'm going around is fitting everything up, trying it, jiggling around, so like with the headlight, loosening off the screws, moving things back and forth, tighten them down a bit. I'm afraid there's no avoiding it. It is quite time consuming. It can drive you nuts, but you just got to stick with it, because otherwise every time you walk past the car you will be driven mad. One thing with the aftermarket panels I always find is this gap here is slightly bigger. I'll show you the other side. I always find that with the 500s as well. So you can see I've got a gap there probably of like sort of 3 mil or so, and over here I've got a gap probably more like 5 mil. But don't know why, they always seem to be the case. You can move these back and shovel this along a bit, but then you throw out your door line, which at the moment isn't far off. Top could come in a bit actually. I might bring the top in a bit more, but obviously I've got to do all the repair on here as well. I want to try this. This is probably about the right level of gap. It's a bit too tight down the bottom here, so that needs to come out a bit. This needs to come over a bit, but yeah, it's just trial and error. Loosen stuff off, move it along a bit. Sometimes you have to, on the aftermarket panels, elongate the holes a little bit to give you a bit more flexibility. So obviously the idea with this one, like I say, the reason I sprayed all this, but did a basic level of spraying on the corners, is we're going to want to paint up to here on the doors on both sides. And there's little areas you're never really going to get the gun into. We want to do it all in one go rather than take everything off, because as you can see with this moving back and forth, jiggering around with the panels, if this was all fresh paint here, I'd be scratching it up and damaging it and all sorts. So better to get it all lined up, fitting nicely. I've put all the bulbs in place in the headlights, so I don't have to get that back out again, because you have to get the bumper off to get the headlight out, because it's really tight to get any bulbs in here with the fuse box there. So better to fit all those in now, and then I'll be masking all of this off, and I'll be able to mask in the edges here, and then we'll be able to paint the whole thing in one go.